Very quickly, we'll move on now. In December 2022, the headline inflation rate eased to 21.34% compared to November 2022 headline inflation rate, which was 21.47%. Looking at the trend, December 2022 inflation rate showed a decline of 0.13% when compared to November 2022 inflation rate. However, on a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 5.72 percentage points higher compared to the rate recorded in December 2021, which was 15.63%. This shows that the headline inflation rate increased in the month of December 2022 when compared to the same month in the preceding year. That's December 2021, of course. Meanwhile, month-on-month basis, the percentage change in the all items index in December 2022 was 1.71%. That was 0.32% higher than the rate recorded in November 2022, which was 1.39%. Likewise, core inflation stepped up from 18.24% to 18.49%. Inflation on imported food declined month-on-month to 1.47%, a reflection of a slight appreciation in the Naira in December. Well, I'd like to say, Ambrose, what are your thoughts, and is the market beginning to react to this figure?
Actually, market is ready figure to come, and we have seen the number already, but I believe that what is happening at this point that, want to match what the market has gained year to date. If you look at year to date, it's still starting. Market is about 2.68 or 86, and inflation is almost around there for the month of December. For the almost year on year around there 21.34. For me, this is expected because one, here we see the decline, just following the trend what we have seen globally. But the good thing that you look at is that the month of December that we saw the decline in inflation. If you look at the what we call the purchasing manager index for the last quarter of the year, we saw the re-expansion. That tells you that on an expected last quarter result for many companies that are into related business, that the season in part we expect to see a better number, which also boost their performance, giving a better full year result for them. And if the earnings of this company or any yield is above this inflation, for me it's a good thing for the market. But if you look at other investment window, because I tell you that in any market, interest rate move fund around, but also you want to bench your return with what inflation is in any economy, in any environment. Now that we are seeing inflation already around 21.34, and what is the rate coming from this market? The average dividend yield in equity market is around 6 to 7% or average, while some stock has having a two-digit yield, 11, 13, and 14. 14 is the highest. But if you look at other instruments, I think the highest is about 12. Why for Treasury bills almost like 7.3%. You can see that we see more opportunity in equity market because of the time horizon is short for you to make that yield, and also if the company surpass their performance, we see also into capital appreciation at the same time. For me, I see that inflation is now having a negative impact much on the performance of the market in terms of football, in terms of company performance. Going to the forward, we look at go up. Seeing where to get already, we are looking for the results for enter December 2022. We want to see another fresh one in 2023. But I believe that results that come to the market, as Alaji said, this season is what we call dividend hunting. Everybody is looking for dividend for this. But I believe that this will guide my vote on the other investment window. If you have delayed the inflation, you're already in red. For me, equity is more better than looking closer to inflation. If you have capital appreciation, you can even earn above inflation.
All right, that's a good one. I mean, that's something you always talk about anyway. Well, Mr. Kofi, on one hand, some analysts have attributed a decline to price resistance on the part of consumers who demanded less food and discretionary items than they usually would in the festive period. And then on the other hand, we have some analysts thinking it's a blip, which is a temporary change that does not have any special meaning. What are your thoughts?
Well, I align with those analysts that they say that due to the change of the behavior, because quite a number of our people who normally travel for the festivity, many of them decided not to travel because of the cost of oil. Now that officially the government have increased the price of oil, even in Lagos you see the price is skyrocketing. I want it to mean the margin that reduced by the inflation will not last, because once you touch oil, you touch everything. Transportation and all other things will be affected. And in view of this, I'm saying that I agree with those analysts that setback is just temporary, the inflation will still come to run again because of the cost of the transportation, particularly the PMS.
All right, I guess Ambrose definitely agrees with you. But Charles, can you confirm if you can hear me, Charles?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, quickly, let's have your thoughts on the inflation. Do you also believe it's a blip? I mean, it's not real. It's just something that just happened, a flash in a pan.
I think I agree with what others who say it's just a flash. Because if you look at December, you will agree with me that most of the things that we needed to do in December, most of us cut down, even more than 50%. Like my parents said, people do not even travel. So many things, you know, people have to explain to their children. And we saw that, yes, the festivity was very, very light. Of course, I will not blame them because they have listened to iBrand TV, that's my segment on personal finance, how to spend during the festive period. People were cautious in terms of
all right.
their spending.
Okay.
Again, it's because of their purchasing power. And that was why we saw a slight reduction. But I assure you, in this January, we are going to see the inflation rate go up again because food prices. In fact, as I speak to you now, I'm in my village, and I can tell you that the farmers are not planting. They said there are no cassava stem. And once they are not planting now, the rains will soon start. If they don't clear their farmland, they don't plant, of course, you will see price of food items going up. And of course, like my director said, once you touch transportation, you touch food item, of course, inflation will go up. But my advice would be cut your coat according to your pocket, not your size this time around, for you to take care of inflation and move along.
All right, thank you so much. Very quickly, Ambrose, I'd like to get your thought. I mean, you were agreeing with both of them.
Yeah, I said it in one of the programs that they were seeing this number, and earlier I said that this December figure for me is expected to be in the up direction, but seeing it coming down, I told you that it's surprising at the same time that if month on month is still high, we can accommodate data. You can see that the expectation is almost the same line. One, because December is the period of people spend much, but because there's a reduced report, as far as we're able to get fuel around 280, 300 after December. Now officially they hike the price again. That means for my friend that came from East today, said they are buying almost 400, 500 over there. You can see this is going to it's a triple effect on everything in the market. Especially if you want to move your goods from your locality to the town, the cost, then you have to put that cost on the thing you are selling, and that will move the price of it. That for me, inflation in the month of January, ideally before now, if you look at the trend in Nigeria, January is the time you see inflation slowing down after festive period. But now we're going to see the reverse because it's slowed down in December, then in January we're going to see. For me, investors should also factor into their decision as they're going forward into the new year. But I believe that I said earlier, this season is the end season. All eyes on what I'll earn in this short period and take it as.
What are the sectors we should be looking at?
Yeah, no, for me, this one will affect the end because when we are expecting stuff for financial ended December, this figure was seeing will impact.
No, I'm saying going forward.
Going forward, for me, investors will look at the sectors where we expect that we go earn above what is that, especially the oil sector will still continue to lead because what is happening in Ukraine and Russia has not started coming down. Unless tomorrow we'll see that they are going to a pitch. That means that sector will be a sector we look at. Also, the banking sector, as far as the activities of MPC and NPR remain where it is now, I still to see them also performing very well. And also, one thing that is very, very important that as far oil price is up and those sectors doing well, the exposure of the banks in terms of bad loan has also reduced. That was also going to impact the bottom line of the bank at the end of the day. For me, I see that sector also a good one for them to look at. And also, as we speak now, despite the market has moved up, prices of goods in banking stock are still cheap for investors. Also, don't forget in the history of our market, the most consistent dividend paying sector is that sector. Now that we're seeing telecom coming up powerfully, agriculture coming up, but investors know that is the tools of the market before now. They will just leave it because there's still opportunity there.
All right. Just before we go, just before we leave this particular topic, Mr. Kofi, talk to us. What are your expectations from the next MPC meeting?
I expect that they will retain all the parameters. In view of the fact that there is change of the currency, we are expecting more deposit into the bank. And when they have more deposit into the bank, that will enable the bank to reduce the cost of the fund. I hope that all parameters will be retained, but they will watch out what the inflation is likely going to do by the end of January so that they can decide in March. But for now, I expect all things being equal, the parameter will remain the same.
All right. Thank you so much.